This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga, dudes and dudettes. This is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the new Marvel Legends Paladin. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see that the figure is showcased in your standard Marvel Legends window box packaging. Turning the box around, we can see an image of the figure at the top, and at the bottom, all the other pieces from this wave, including the Build-A-Figure Sasquatch. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. And here's Paladin out of the box. And man, this is actually a really cool action figure. The only thing is, I have zero clue who Paladin is. And I'm not a big, extensive reader of a lot of Marvel comics, so I'm really just going to judge this figure just for what it is itself. I think it's a really cool looking piece, and I cannot wait to check it out with you guys. But before we take a closer look at the figure, let's take a look at the accessories. So Paladin does come with a decent amount of accessories. Starting off, he comes with the right leg for the Build-A-Figure Sasquatch, 2 pistols, and a knife. So with the accessories out of the way, let's take a closer look at Paladin. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at Paladin here. Now again, full disclosure, I have no clue who he is. Mostly DC guy. Yeah, so sorry, feel free to hate me in the comments. I'm not big on this character, so what I'm going to do here is review strictly the figure itself and not so much the character, because again, I have no real, feelings towards this particular character, so this is going to be strictly off the toy and that's it. And to be honest, this is a really cool looking action figure. That could be because of the color combination. I love black and purple together. I just think it works out really great. And you can see the sculpt that they've done here with this figure. It looks really, really good. Lots of texturing right here, like on his vest and whatnot. You see some silver belt buckles and things like that. With those touches of gold. I love the gold used on this thing, like here for his shades or his glasses. Even on the weapons, looks really cool. For the most part, it's pretty basic. We do get some nice gauntlets right here, and in the boots, they do share that similar lined pattern, which looks out really good. The folding and all that came out really nice. I love that quite a bit. You can see the knife right there in the boot, which I'm so glad they have that awesome addition whenever weapons can be holstered on the figure. Now, this all looks really good here. You can see some Paladin booty right there. I love the little spinal section like that. All the headgear looks fantastic. Really cool looking design, honestly, for the most part. And really having this figure kind of makes me want to look up more of the character in comic books. He is a mercenary from what I've seen. So I'm curious to see how much crossovers or relations he has to Deadpool, and if they've crossed paths before. So very curious about that. Now, what I've said before, I love when a figure can holster all his weapons and whatnot. And this figure does have a holster for the gun right here, which is a very nice holster. I like that a lot. And then you got a holster for a knife right there on the boot, which is fantastic. Why only one holster for if he has 2 guns? I don't get that. He should have had a second holster right here for the other gun. So that's a little weird to me. I don't know why they did that. Secondly, these guns, I can tell, again, I'm not a big Marvel Legends collector, but these guns, I mean, they look cool for the most part. I do like the color that they're molded in, that kind of rustic gold. I do dig it, a little metallic to it. But you can tell that these holsters aren't really made for these guns. You can put them in there just fine and they'll stay, but I mean, they fall out fairly easily, so you could tell these holsters are not, or these guns are not for these holsters at all. So I'm not sure why they gave him these 2 specific guns, or they give him that specific holster. I really don't know. So that's a very odd choice from Hasbro. So that's a little funky, and I'm not a fan of that. You know, even if I would have, see, I just popped out right like that. If they had given him a second holster, it would have been better. But yeah, that's funky. I even as a Marvel Legends, even as a person who doesn't collect Marvel Legends, I can tell that's not right. So yeah, just something to note. But again, the figure itself just looks great. I really do like it a lot. He might make for some good like minion characters and picks. When you're taking your action figure picks, you know, of a character beating someone up, he might make a good, you know, villain like that, I think, to use for stuff like that. Other than that, I have no real else way to display this character because I just don't know who he is. But he looks really cool, and I'll give him that. I did have a lot of fun posing him around, and he's pretty awesome for that. So let's take a look at the articulation now. So the head is on a ball joint, does roll around left and right, up with that disc hinge about that far, which is nice, all the way down, which is pretty good. Arms can go full 360, out about up that far, rotation at the bicep, double jointed elbow, rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. We do get an ab crunch that goes forward that much, back that far, rotation at the waist, and it is kind of ratcheted, so that's pretty nice. We got hip joints that kick forward that much, back not so much, the splits about that far, rotation in that upper thigh. We got double jointed knees, like so, boot rotation, rotates at the top, ankle joint allows you to point the toe up and down, and a very good ankle rocker. And that is one thing I will, you know, give shout out to Hasbro for. Their ankle rockers on their figures are really good and really high quality, and I like them a lot. And I just really don't like putting that gun in here. The knife is really nice. That sticks in there very good, and we've seen that knife before. I believe that was the one that came with Bucky Cap back in the day. I think so. It's pretty sure it's the same knife. I will note real quick, he does not hold it in these trigger finger hands all that well, but you can do it. What I like to do, take the blade like so, and kind of like holster it between those trigger fingers and pose them something like that. So I think that's very cool. So overall, again, if you have no connection to this character, I could understand why you'd pass him up, but I think he's still overall a pretty cool toy. He has great posing, nice sculpting. I love the color deco of this character, and in my opinion, he is definitely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Captain America figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And for your Marvel Legends comparison, here he is standing next to the 3 other figures from this wave that I've already previously reviewed. And just for fun, here he is standing next to little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Marvel Legends Paladin. Now overall, I actually really do think this is a sweet action figure. His color deco and overall design is actually pretty cool. But it's pretty disappointing that those guns do feel awkward. We only get the one holster, and the gun doesn't even fit well in that holster. I do like the knife, but he does have some trouble holding it, and again, I'm just not really familiar with the character. I do think this is a really cool action figure, but I can see why people can easily pass on him. Overall, I think he's pretty dope, and I think he is definitely a must get. Mostly to build the Sasquatch figure. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.